Many times, a lot of people want to invest in real estate, especially here in Nigeria. Oh, yes, I've had lots of people come to me say, look, I want to buy properties in Nigeria, but I really don't know how to begin. And they say, when they want to check out information online, they see a whole lot of things that looks very complicated. But guess what? In this video today, I'm going to break it down. Yes, I will be giving you 5 practical steps, the easiest steps on how to own a property in Nigeria in the year 2023. There's more reason you need to watch this video to the very end. Go nowhere. I'll be right back. Hello guys, so welcome back to my channel. I'm Bright Peter Side, a real estate broker and investment expert right here in the city of Lagos. It's always an honor to have you join me here as we look at issues pertaining real estate investment. And so today, I will be, like I mentioned earlier, talking to you on 5 tips on how to own properties in Nigeria in the year 2023. Before I proceed, let me welcome those of you who are visiting my channel for the first time. I'm super excited to have you, and please do well to click the subscribe and notification button for free so you can always get interesting updates on this platform. And for those of you who have subscribed before, thank you for always making that time to hang out here with me. So one thing I will advise today is that you watch this video from the very beginning to the end. The reason is not far-fetched. I will try not to make it so long so that you'll be able to take hold of everything I'll be saying here today. For those of you who are joining me online, I'm excited to have you. I can see, yeah, Shegu. Please type your state. Okay, this one says Farida from Adamawa. You are welcome. I can see Ndoka from Port Harcourt. Jesse from Netherlands. Yeah, you're welcome. I'm also seeing Mr. Adetola from Germany. Okay, you're welcome. Dr. Alexander from US, you are also welcome. So thank you. Please, as you come on, do wait to type your name and the location where you're watching this from. Now, the year is about to end, and as usual, I've been getting lots of inquiries on people who desire to own a property in Nigeria in the year 2023. So this topic is one very important one. I will always say the difference between where we are and where we tend to be is information. It's very easy for someone out there, perhaps a Nigerian diaspora, to say, when you hear of real estate investment in Nigeria, you say it doesn't work, it's full of scam, everybody is scam and all of that. It's simply because such persons do not have the right information, because when you know right, you invest right. And so I will be sharing with you 5 tips on how to own properties in Nigeria in the year 2023. Having said this, let's get into the main purpose of today's meeting. 5 tips on how to own properties in Nigeria in the year 2023. Or you can say 2023, how to own properties in Nigeria. Number 1 is to have a clear objectives. Many times people come to me and they're like, okay, I want to own a property. And when I interrogate them, I get to find out that there is no clear purpose. There's no clear objective of why they want to own a property. Anything you are doing in life without a clear objective, you find out that you can't get the best of that thing until you have a clear direction of what you want. And so the first tip on how to own a property in Nigeria in the year 2023 is to have a clear objective. By objective, I mean, what is the purpose of your purchase? Why do you want to buy that land? Why do you want to buy that house? Are you buying that land because you want to build on it immediately? Or are you buying that land because you want to use it in the future for future investment? Or are you buying the land, because you will want to resell it, say, in the next 2, 3, 4 years? All of these are examples of investment objectives when it comes to acquiring a property. Why this is important is that different objectives calls for different location and different budget and price, which we'll be dealing on later. Let me explain this. If, for example, you want to buy a land, say for future investment, you realize that the best location for you to buy such land, will not be in a fully developed area. Say you want a land for land banking. You will want to buy such land in a location that is not yet so developed. The reason is not far-fetched. 1, the price of such property will be cheaper. However, if you are looking for a land where you can buy and begin to build immediately, you will also realize that you will need a land with a neighborhood where people are already living, because only you can't go and stay in the bush. That is not wisdom. So you have two people who want to buy a land, for example. One wants a buy and build. Mr. B wants a land for future investments. The one who is looking for a buy and build land, we need a land where people are already living, not a bush. Because he wants to start building, after building, he should be able to live. He should be able to have an active neighborhood that will also form part of his security, because only him cannot live inside the bush. Now, for the second person who needs a land for future investment, you don't necessarily need a place where people are living. That person will need a land in a developing area. The reason is obvious. The land in a developing area will be cheaper for him to buy. And because he wants to maximize profit on the long run, he needs to buy in a more affordable price as possible. So this is a typical example of investment objectives when it comes to owning a property in Nigeria. So you must be clear on what you want. If you're also buying the land, say to resell in the next 2-3 years, your objectives have to be clear. If you're even buying the land for future development, your objectives have to be clear. So the number one tips on how to acquire a property in Nigeria in the year 2023 is to have a clear objective. Your objective will influence other factors about your purchase. I hope you got that. If you got what I've just said, please use the comment section. Let me be sure that we are clear on this. I want to be sure that you are following. So just type, I understand. Just type, I understand. You can say, yes, I understand. Just type that on the comment section. Let me see those who have been following. Oh, Mr. Demi from Istanbul. Okay, I can see you. Thank you for joining. Okay. Dr. Kosi from Vietnam, thank you. Okay, all right, so we are making progress. I'm excited by the feedback. So that is the first thing you need to do, the first tips to owning a property in Nigeria in the year 2023. Have a clear objective. Now, once you've got a clear purpose or objective or goals of why you want to own a property in Nigeria, whether you live outside or within Nigeria, the second thing you now need to work on is your budget. You need to get a budget. Budget in real estate simply means the minimum or maximum amount of money a client is willing to pay. The minimum or maximum amount of money or monetary exchange that a client is willing to offer or pay to the owner of that property in order to acquire the said property. That is simply what we mean by budget. Now, many times too, by virtue of experience, I have also noticed that one of the things that frustrates investors and make some real estate acquisitions impossible is the issue of budget. Many people come in, wanting to buy real estate products many times without a clear budget. And you can't enter a market as big as real estate without budget. But of course, like I said from the beginning, for you to have a clear budget, you must first be clear about your objective, because your objectives will influence your budget and other factors about your purchase. So have a clear budget. If, like I said, you want a buy and build property, it means that property, that land has to be located where people are already living. You need to now have a budget that will suit the prevailing market price in that location. All right? You need to have a budget that can enable you buy. You have to avoid that mistake that some persons make. I've seen situations where prospects want to buy and build land, but their budget is like one who wants to buy a land for future investment. Let's say the price of the land for future investment is 500,000. And then somebody is looking for a buy and build land in already developed urban area. And then you have a budget of 500,000 naira. You find out that it won't work. And so the second tip to own a property in Nigeria in 2023 is to have a clear budget. Whether for rent, whether you want to buy a house, whether you want to buy a land, you must have a clear budget. I hope you got that. Please also type on the comment section, I understand. Simply type, yes, I understand. Let me be sure that you are really following this. Oh, okay, Mr. Casey from Georgia. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Okay, so So far, I have mentioned first, have a clear objective. That is number 1 point. The second point is have a budget. The top tips on how to own a property in Nigeria in the year 2023 is for you to have a specific location. Yes, you must have a clear location of where you want to own the property. Location here simply refers to the geographical area where the property is situated. Is it in Lagos? Is it in Port Harcourt? Is it in Abuja? You must have a clear location in mind. And even in the city itself, if it's Lagos, for example, you need to also be specific. Is it in Lekki Phase 1? Is it in Victoria Island? Is it in Ajah? Is it in Sango-Tedo? Is it Ibeju-Lekki or Ekpe? Because why this is important is that you need to understand that when it comes to property acquisition, location influences the prices of real estate products. I will say that again. When it comes to property investments, location influences the prices of properties. Like I had mentioned this earlier, I think early this year or sometime last year when I did a similar video to this, it's also available on our website. I mentioned that the cost of acquiring a plot of land in Victoria Island cannot be the same cost of acquiring a plot of land in Sango-Tedo. The reason is not far-fetched, all right? And so you need to understand that different location calls for different price. And so you need to be clear on your location. Many times, I also have this experience with prospects. Even when people want to lease apartment, many times they want a prime location, but they have a budget that is below that location. And so it now becomes important to try to understand the prevailing market value of properties in a particular location before you also get into that. But you need to be clear on your location. If it's Ekpe you want, you need to be clear that, look, it's Ekpe I'm intending to acquire this property. And so, again, I mentioned first, you must have a clear objectives. Secondly, you must have a budget. And thirdly, you must have a clear location in mind where you want to own the property. This is very important because different locations cost for even in Abuja, the cost of acquiring a 3-bedroom bungalow in Maitama will certainly differ from the cost of acquiring that same 3-bedroom bungalow, say in places like Kubwa or Jaji area of Abuja. The same city, different location, different prices. This is very important. The same thing in Port Harcourt. The cost of acquiring a plot of land in prime areas in Port Harcourt, such as Pito Dele Road or Old Onu GRA or Ada George, cannot be this. In fact, currently, I had this a recent transaction, where somebody was looking for a bungalow in Pito Dele Road. The person had 25 million naira. The quality of what he is looking for at Pito Dele Road is going nothing less than 50 million naira. So location is important. It is one factor you must take into consideration if you want to own a property in Nigeria in the year 2023. The fourth tips on how to own a property in Nigeria in the year 2023 is price. Like I've already mentioned, different location calls for different prices. And so you also get to be conversant with the prices of real estate products in different locations. You must understand also that prices of properties is not stagnant. This is very important. I will give you a practical example. Sometime last year, I had a property in Yalova, Kingdom of Turkey. Now, that property was selling with a resident permit, everything about $50,000. That was in 2021. But guess what? In 2022, the Turkish government came up with a whole lot of policies that have changed the market. And as I speak with you, that same property is going for over $80,000. And the funny thing is that I actually have prospects recently who didn't see the property according to him. So he's chatting me up in 2022 and he's trying to get the same price we had in 2021 when that product was put out. And I'm like, it's not going to work because the government have changed a whole lot of things. And so you must understand that the price of that property you saw last year cannot be the same today, especially in Nigeria where you have issue of inflation among other economic variables. You must understand that prices of properties in Nigeria is flexible, highly flexible. As such, you may need to have a flexible budget as well. You must first, like I've mentioned, get your objectives clearly stated. After that, get your budget and then have specific location, because your location will influence your price, like I've already mentioned. The last tip on how to own a property in Nigeria in the year 2023, guess what it is? I'll be right back. Go nowhere. All right, welcome back. So if you've been enjoying this so far, please use the comment section. I would like to be sure that you've been following and you've been enjoying this awesome section so far. Now, while you are doing that, the fifth tip on how to own property in Nigeria in the year 2023, guess what? Use a realtor. Oh yes. Research has shown that majority of people who buy properties using real estate realtors or agents, as they are called in some parts of the world, or some will prefer to call them, make less mistake compared to those who choose to do it on their own. What that means is that it's been proven by a report that majority who choose to acquire properties on their own without the assistance or help of a realtor end up making more mistake. And many times in Nigeria, sometimes they end up falling prey to issue of property scam. That is not just peculiar to Nigeria. There's property scam in UK, there's property scam in everywhere. But the point here is that one of the easiest ways to own a property in Nigeria in the year 2023 is to use a broker. One of the reasons why you should use an agent is because they understand the market. They understand the peculiarities. You are just coming in to buy a property. Yes, you have your money, all right? But you are coming into a dynamic market with a lot of dynamism that you cannot handle. And so you need somebody who is daily into that business to guide you. And so a realtor will not only help to get you the best, property that is in line with investment objectives, which I mentioned earlier. That same realtor will help you to make findings, confirming the validity of the documents about that property. The realtor will also help you to do a post-purchase follow-up. What this means is that after buying the property, this real estate agent will still follow up to make sure that you get all your documents, because the major proof of ownership of a property is document in Nigeria. Let me say that again. The major proof of owning a property in Nigeria, in fact all over the world, is the document. If there is a case and you say you own this plot of land, there must be a paper to back up your claim. And so one of the reasons why you should use a realtor is so that, one, you will reduce, you will spend less, you have less stress. I had to ask a client, how long did it take him to get an apartment? He wanted an apartment to rent. In Lagos, you see people sometimes spend like 6 months looking for an apartment to rent. But it's the same apartment that an agent can enable them get in a matter of weeks. Let's say you are in Lagos and maybe you live in Maryland, and then calculate the hour it will take you to drive from Maryland to Ibejuleki to go and do a video of the property you want to buy in Ibejuleki beyond the inspection. And so that is why you need a realtor, because even after you've bought that property, you will need an agent or realtor to constantly give you an update on the level of development that is ongoing within the neighborhood where you bought that property. It's one of the reasons why you should use a realtor. So the fifth tip on how to own a property in Nigeria in the year 2023 is to use a realtor. Don't do it on your own. Look for a professional realtor or agent or whatever you may call it. But the most important thing is engage them, and it will save you from stress, it will save you from loss, it will save you from a whole lot of things. And at the end of the day, you will have property. And not just having a property, you also have a peace of mind because you have a mediator. Realtors are mediators. They stand between the buyer and the seller. And so use a realtor. Don't depend on your own knowledge. Don't come into the industry or market thinking you know it all. Oh no. By the virtue of the fact that you are not fueling the market means you may not have all the information. Every industry have its own people. If you go to Wall Street, for example, there are people who are in Wall Street. They understand what happens here. They know when the stocks will crash. They have this. And so if you go to Wall Street, you want to trade, it won't be wisdom for you to walk into Wall Street and you say you want to start trading just like that, without asking those who are in Wall Street day in, day out. And so it's the same thing with real estate. If you want to own a property, whether you live within and outside Nigeria, these 5 tips I've given you in this video, they are so reliable. They are very simple but very effective. Number 1, I mentioned objectives. Have a clear objectives. The second point I mentioned is have clear budgets. Yes, have a clear budget in mind of what you tend to pay for the property you want to acquire. If it's a plot of land, if it's a duplex, if it's a bungalow, if it's an off-plan project, have a clear budget. Number 3, have a clear location in mind. Yes, before you go to the market, have a clear location of what, of course, like I've already mentioned, all of these other factors will be influenced by your investment objective. So know the price of that real estate product, of that property in that environment. And also note that the prices of real estate products are never stagnant. Property appreciates on daily basis is one of the unique things about properties. And lastly, like I said, use a realtor. And if you are in need of, a realtor, you say, all of this agent wahala. If you are looking for a realtor you can trust right here in Nigeria, I gladly recommend Price High Consulting Limited, where I happen to be the lead consultant. Over the years, we've assisted Nigerians within and outside Nigeria to own pieces of nature right here in Nigeria, land, houses, and other very rewarding real estate investments. So you may need to hit us. We can help you get, yes, I can help you get legit verified properties right here in Nigeria, and I will follow it up. Currently, we are in a promo all through the month of December. And so when you buy a property from us, because we also do facility management all through this month, we will be managing that property for you free of charge. Yes, it means that you buy any property in Nigeria through us all through the month of December, whether in Lagos, Abuja, or Port Harcourt, we will be managing that property free of charge. And managing it means that we'll be giving you monthly updates via email. All right, we'll be sending you monthly mail, giving you a progress report on development on infrastructure about that property. And we're going to do that for 1 whole year for free. Isn't that amazing? All right, guys, so this is the much I got for you. This happens to be the last edition of REALVEST Guide for the year 2022. Again, thank you for all our diaspora clients for trusting us. Some of you are here on this section. I can see Mr. Chinedu Izoba from North Dakota. Yeah, Dakota. Mr. Isiri from UK. Mr. Fidel, thank you all. Thank you for trusting us with your real estate acquisition, and I'm optimistic that we're going to do bigger things in the year 2023. I hope this section was useful to you. If it did, please give this video a thumb up. Make sure to subscribe and please share this. Someone out there needs it to guide them in ensuring that they acquire a property in Nigeria in the year 2023. Thank you for watching. Again, my name is Brian Peter. I'm a real estate broker right here in the city of Lagos. Thank you for watching and bye for now.